Good morning, everybody. It's Maggie. It's actually 9:30 here in California. I wanted to just do a quick vlog. People who know me know about my cardiac issue. They know about the diagnosis that I received a couple of years ago, which really left me in a where am I in life kind of position. I started with cardiac issues when I was about 35, 36 years old, I think, when I was diagnosed with hypertension. And people say, okay, that's just high blood pressure, a little pill, and you'll be okay. What people don't understand is that even with a pill, hypertension is still a progressive issue, and it does still continue to cause damage. Over the years, with hypertension, my veins narrowed and cholesterol built up, the typical coronary artery disease, and I was on a boatload of medications. And then a couple of years ago when I passed out at work, from the progression of those issues to find out that I was now in heart failure. I got comments from people that led me to understand that people don't really understand what heart failure is. Such as, well, I had an aunt or my grandmother or somebody I know or a friend of my friends of my friends, had congestive heart failure and lived for 20 years. By all means, that is possible. That is not the norm. The normal lifespan of somebody, dependent on the type of heart failure that they're diagnosed with, and the level of it, the grade. But the general rule of thumb is quality of life ends after 5 years, if not your life. And then those who do have the gradual decline, it is about a 10-year lifespan. I did a lot of thinking because my type of heart failure is left ventricle heart failure. It is the heart failure that the wall of my heart became very thick. It was no longer able to efficiently pump oxygenated blood into my lungs. And what ended up happening is that I would run out of breath. There just wasn't enough squeeze in my heart to push the blood to where it needed to go. My fingers would turn blue. My hypertension kind of was one day hypertensive, the next day I was hypotensive, which is not good either. That means that my heart was not working efficiently. My ejection fraction, which is the amount of pressure that the heart takes to squeeze that blood everywhere, in a normal person, it runs around 55 to 60%, and mine was less than 30. So I was looking at a heart transplant, something I really didn't want to do. I went through mourning. I went through changes. I had to have discussions with my family. My children had to deal with losing their mom potentially very, very early. I didn't want to hide anything from them, so I didn't. Together, we made the decision for me to go ahead and pursue other avenues of treatment. I was enrolled while I was at Johns Hopkins 2 years ago when I passed out at work and my blood pressure was 50/30. Took a long time for them to get that back up to a normal range. And then once they did, it shot up and went through the roof and back on the blood pressure meds I came. That's when I spent a week in the hospital. People came to talk to me from a heart research program that they do that's in process now. It's a long-term study of which I am now enrolled, have been for the last 2 years with Johns Hopkins over in Baltimore. So we're not talking that I don't have state-of-the-art things available to me, up-to-date information. I get information that's not even been released to the public yet, just as part of the study group. I chose to do a non-surgical intervention at that point for my heart. Non-surgical being non-cardiac surgery. And instead chose to go by changing my habits, looking at not being around secondhand smoke, therefore my son smokes outside. Does not smoke in my car, you know, that kind of stuff. Also, changing the eating habits. A lot more vegetables, fruits, but even then, I couldn't lose the weight. I was way too heavy. Tried Weight Watchers, didn't succeed. Tried a few others and still didn't succeed. Then I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and diet controlled. So I was really trying hard. I talked to my sister-in-law about that a lot for information and what do I do. And got some great information. At that point, talking to my cardiologist, Dr. Saad in San Antonio, and talking to the cardiac researchers over in Johns Hopkins, and with my family, the decision was made for me to go ahead and pursue bariatric surgery. There were some significant risks of me doing that. One was that with the decrease in oxygenated blood, which anesthesia was well aware of, and as long as they knew, they could kind of preemptively watch me during surgery and do what they needed to do, but there was a chance that I may not come out from the surgery. But after weighing the risks to the benefits, the risks were way too much. I was going to die if I didn't do something. And it's not quite been a year since my surgery. It'll be a year in April. And that I made that decision that, you know what, 2 years had already passed. 5 years was what they gave me. I only had 3 years left, and I was willing to roll the dice and take the chance. So I ended with the surgery. Obviously, I'm still here, and I'm losing a lot of weight, and I feel absolutely amazing. So my activity has increased. But the good thing was when I talked to cardiology the other day, after he got all the results, because LabCorp is nationwide and so on, all the cardiac testing places, my ejection fraction has come up to just below 50. And that is still not normal, but it's a whole lot better than it was. I'm no longer looking at a heart transplant. I'm breathing a lot easier, obviously. When I first started vlogging, you guys could hear me huffing and puffing as I walked away, which I'm not doing anymore. That's a nice thing. I still get winded, but I get winded like a normal person, just from increasing my cardiac output. I still need to have a new echo. My next echo, well, I should say, after talking to the doctor, we won't do a stress echo. I'll actually get on the treadmill this time and do a regular echo. And just to see how good that squeeze is coming out of that left ventricle now, and whether or not the swelling and the thickened tissue has started to resolve. It already has, so we'll see the next. My blood sugars for my diabetes, all within normal limits. It's great. I was taking off all my cardiac meds, so I am no longer taking a whole cocktail anymore. I take one just to control and stay on top of the heart failure. But I am off all my blood pressure medications. Yay! And that feels amazing to me. It keeps me motivated. But I wanted to just do this little update. I know this video is long, but hopefully it'll load. And thank you to everybody who's been there through the journey. Thank you for the support that you've all given me, pre-surgery, after surgery. I guess I just wanted to say, ladies, we are a different animal. We are not like guys when it comes to cardiac disease. And it could sneak up on us because we ourselves stay so busy taking care of our families and everybody around us, because that's our nature. Socially, you know, we were taught as little children. We had dolls. We took care of our dolls. We took care of our Barbies. We, you know, especially those of my age, where women still had their women roles and men had their men roles. And even though women worked, they still were the caretakers of the house and the family. But if you don't take care of you, you can't take care of them, and you can't take care of the house, and you won't be around to see your grandchildren, or watch your children get married, or watch your grandchildren go off to college. These are things that are important to me. I travel a lot. I love to travel. And it's no longer that my bucket list is on the back burner. I am living my bucket list. Don't put off things that you want to do. Enjoy your life. And in the same time, take care of that life. It's precious, and it can disappear quickly. And it's not worth the emotional upheaval for you and your family to be diagnosed with something that you didn't have to be diagnosed with. God bless you. Love you all. Thank you. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.